Let's move on to main topic number 3. And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by KJ, who writes, "What's up, John? Big fan since I was 12. I'm 20 now. Wow. I was on the AMC app going through the Coming Soon tab just now and saw that Death on the Nile opening February 11th. I'm not sure if this is just AMC or not removing it from their slate just yet, or if this is Disney silently releasing it into theaters. What do you think? Thanks." All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, what a shit show has this whole Death on the Nile situation been. Now, for those of you who aren't really familiar with what's going on with Death on the Nile, so the great Kenneth Branagh, who I love Kenneth Branagh, directed the first Thor movie, which I believe is like the second most underrated comic book movie of all time, only behind Henry Cavill's Man of Steel. He directed this film, and it got delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed for a lot of reasons, but one of which was because one of the main actors in it is Armie Hammer. It's not a small role Armie Hammer plays in it. It's a significant role. And that has put Disney in a very precarious position about what do we do with this movie. Now, for those of you who don't know much about what's gone on with Armie Hammer, just a little side note here. This is from Variety, who catches up and says, "The prominent thorn in this rosy picture for Death on the Nile with Disney is Armie Hammer, the disgraced leading man who has been dropped by numerous employers in the wake of a rape allegation, actually it's several, and multiple claims of abusive behavior with extramarital partners. Hammer is now in the middle of a very public custody battle with his estranged wife, Elizabeth Chambers, who announced their divorce in July of 2020, I should say, after 10 years of marriage." So here's Disney and Fox, right? And they've got this movie, Death on the Nile, that they're trying to do and release. But they've got a guy with rape allegations and physical abuse allegations and all this kind of stuff, all this stuff that's being worked out. And it's like, you don't want your company being associated with that, so we can't release it quite yet. But we've also got hundreds of millions of dollars invested in this thing. We can't just let it sit on the shelf. What the hell are we going to do? Now, a long time ago, they announced that they moved the release date to February. I believe it's February 11th. But the thing is, even Kenneth Branagh came out just a little while ago. The director, Kenneth Branagh, just came out a little while ago and said, "I don't know if this movie's ever getting released." Well, you weren't the only person to notice that when you're on AMC's website, as all of us were yesterday trying to get Spider-Man No Way Home tickets, that under their Coming Soon thing, AMC now has Death on the Nile listed for February 11th, 2022. There has been no official announcements. There's certainly been no press. There absolutely has been no promotional tours. But very silently, very quietly, I guess the theater's been told this movie will play. And maybe it means nothing. Maybe it means absolutely nothing, Ray, that these movie theater sites, by the way, I think Fandango's got to listen too, are listing that the movie is coming out on February 11th. Maybe it means nothing, but it's starting to look like Disney is planning on just, shh, let's very quietly.
But we won't help them with our Ticket Watch. Death on the Nile.
2021.
Or Death on the Nile.
We should do a Ticket Watch 2022 for Death on the Nile. Ticket Watch.
Now, is this like 2 of 3 movies? Was this a plan to be a trilogy? I don't know anything about the books or whatever, so.
Yeah, this is the follow-up this is a great question, because this is a follow-up people who don't know to Murder on the Orient Express that Kenneth Branagh did a couple of years ago. So this is it's not really a sequel per se, but it's the same main detective character now coming over, and he's going to solve this mystery, right? Case. And then they were hoping to make a franchise out of it, right? So it looks like they're very quietly going to try to put this thing out. Now, here's the big problem. The big problem of this, and why I think they're going to do this very quietly, is with most of these major motion pictures, they put out this movie and then they do a big press tour. They have press days. They do junkets. They do all that kind of stuff. I guarantee you, if this movie is coming out on February 11th, there ain't going to be no press junket. Because what's going to happen and they know this. They're going to sit down to talk to Gal Gadot, or they're going to talk to any of the other performers, and they're going to say, they'll ask an obligatory nice first question, right? It's like, oh, what's it like to be in this movie? And then they'll go, was it awkward working on set with Armie Hammer? You know that, right?
Hammer time. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't mean to make jokes, but that's all I can
Hammer
think.
time.
It brings new meaning to hammer time.
Bring in the hammer time. So, you know that every single interview, every one of the actors or writers or Kenneth Branagh himself, every single interviewer is going to make that entire thing about asking about Armie Hammer. It's going to become a circus, an absolute circus.
They're going to Andrew Garfield her.
They're going to Andrew Garfield it. The whole thing, that's what it's going to be. And so I think what it's starting to look like, and I don't really know, at some point, they're just going to just quietly slip this into theaters. I think they have contractual obligations to make sure it gets a release of some form. I think they're just very quietly going to let it slide into theaters and then very quietly leave.
Was this supposed to be out already?
Oh, ages ago.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's been delayed for, obviously the pandemic was a big thing,
Right,
but then
right.
the Armie Hammer thing was a big part of it as well. So that's been a big thing. So it looks like to me this is going to quietly come and quietly go with or without Hammer time. But yeah, it's coming. Anyway, question is for you guys. What do you make of this whole situation? Does it indeed look to you like, yeah, they're going to put this movie out and it doesn't look like they're going to promote it at all? Maybe they will. Who knows? Whatever you guys are feeling about this, jump into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts.